since Jordan and Luke are not here, I'll have you run the.
The meeting is called to order at 5:05, and I guess I'll second that as well.
I second.
Okay, and that was Jacob, right? Sorry.
Take your time.
And then next is the approval of previous minutes
First,
from last.
and then we'll do approval of the minutes because we have to
Okay.
make sure we have a quorum.
Okay, Jordan did say that she was coming, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put her in attendance as well. And then DeAndre Mays.
So hold on. So even though she says she's coming, she has to be here in order for her roll call to count. And so when she comes, then you can add her. But until then, she's not. She wouldn't be counted on the roll call.
Okay. DeAndre Mays.
Present.
Presley O'Malley.
Present.
And Sky Scott. Tell me how to say your name. I know you told me last time, but I forgot. It's Sky Skies.
Sykes.
You said Sykes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Present.
And then Yoslin.
Present.
Oren Jones.
Who?
Oren.
Oh, Oren. I think said Boren. I was like, who's Boren? Okay. Go ahead.
Luke Simon.
So Luke he did send me an excuse absence based off midterms and stuff for his classes, just FYI. So that's something we're going to have to vote on.
And then Kenna Burden.
Present.
Okay. So the only people that are missing is Oren and Luke.
You forgot Jacob.
And Jacob. My
Jacob
bad.
is here. Yep.
Now we can go to the approval of previous minutes. And now I wasn't here for last meeting, so
Hold on 1 second. You all need to vote on Luke's requested absence.
Yes. Thanks for that, Amy. So he had a requested absence based off his classes when it came to midterms and things of that nature. So now you all just have to vote on that.
okay. DeAndre Mays.
DeAndre, can you hear? Did he drop? Oh, I think he dropped. We still have quorum, and Jordan just entered. So as Nadia is going around and saying your name, you're going to either yay or nay as far as approving Luke's excuse absence.
Presley O'Malley.
I agree.
Yoslin.
Yay.
Oren. No, she's not here. Luke. Yes. You just gotta say yay or nay based on Luke's excuse absence.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I was in the car, so.
Okay. Jordan.
Yay.
Kenna.
Yes.
and Jacob.
Yeah.
Okay, that's everybody. And then I'm gonna switch it back to Jordan for now.
Okay, so Jordan, we are on the agenda. We are on number 3, the approval of minutes. So we have to review the last meeting's minutes, the official meeting minutes.
All right, and we do have the motion for that, right? All right, I motion to approve the meeting before last minutes.
I second.
All right, we'll take about 2 minutes to review those.
And just for everybody's awareness, that will be the minutes on February 2nd. For the meeting on February 2nd, I should say.
And you can find the email from Tuesday, February 10th. The title is CAB Minutes and Updates on February 10th that I sent out.
Has everybody had time to go over the last meeting's minutes?
Yes.
And I will do a roll call to see if we approve all of those as well.
All right, I motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, Jordan Moore,
We have to second it first.
Sky second.
okay, I didn't do that last time, my bad. What's going on? Jordan Moore,
Yay.
DeAndre Mays.
Yay.
I'm also in agreement. Presley O'Malley,
Yay.
Jocelyn,
Yay.
Kemba Vernon,
Yay.
Jacob,
Yeah.
and Skies.
Yay.
Okay.
Was that the whole roll call vote?
It was.
All right. So I guess we can move on to the next part of our agenda. I motion to move to officer reports. Can I get a second?
I second.
All right, starting off with officer reports, we have chairperson report. I have no reports at this time. And Luke isn't present for vice chair reports. So Nadia, do you have any reports as secretary?
I do not have any reports.
All right, does our historian have any reports?
I do not.
All right, so I'm going to motion to move to committee reports now. Can I get a second?
I second.
All right, that hands the floor over to government affairs. They shared an email. We just received one not too long ago from Colbert with the presentation, what they plan to do. Yasin, do you want to go into more detail about that?
Yeah, I'll share my screen and the presentation. It's always yeah. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
Okay. So let me put up present mode. I made a presentation based on what we would have on the annual report and what we want to change based on the annual report from last year. And I know one of the main things that we talked about, well, me and Colbert, was that we want it to be more like welcoming and like actually have people engaged in what we present in the annual report. And then some of the things I'll go over is like the templates that we are going to change. And then we're going to require you to send some headshots so that we can include them in the annual report, and I'll talk more about it in the presentation. And then I included our mission, purpose, history, and duties, and then outline of our goals, recommendations of the city council. And these are just some of the things that we're going to include. And this is for us to bring it to y'all so that we can get some feedback and make the annual report better than what it was last year. And then I hope you can see the whole slide. These are some of the templates that we chose out, and we wanted to actually vote on it today so we could actually start putting stuff on the template that we choose. I'm not sure how we would go about voting for this, but there's 4 options, like the first one, second, third, and fourth. And I guess for voting this, you could just say a number that you want, and we would go with the one that gets the most votes. Do I do the voting? Do I take the voting, or does somebody else do that?
I believe Jordan will motion for it. I could be totally wrong. My understanding would be that Jordan will, at the end of your presentation, we would talk through it, and then Jordan will motion the votes. And then we can come back to this slide just so people would have their options. Another option also is when we vote, we can put our answers in the chat. And so that would give Nadia a better understanding of who is voting for what. And so you can record it, and that will help us finalize it as well.
Okay. So voting would happen at the end.
When you're done with the presentation, yeah.
Okay. Again, everybody has access to this presentation. And if you would want to see more on the templates, you could request to get the link for the templates. But for now, it's like based on the cover on the template that we would use. And then for head, sorry. You can
If
go
I'm
ahead.
not mistaken, Yoselin, you did also a while back send out the links to the templates.
Oh yeah.
So there is access if you all want to check out the actual templates before you vote on them. Yoselin did email out the links to them. So.
And then the next thing I wanted to go over is headshots. It would look something like this. Like we would have everybody's roles and their names and their schools, just to give people an idea and like kind of more personalized annual report so they understand like who's actually a part of the college advisory board. And you would send the headshots to me. So my email's right there, but it's also in like the other emails that we send out. But yeah, I'll need the headshots of everyone by next meeting. Like by next meeting, you should have sent me a headshot. And if anybody has any more questions about that, you can let me know. And then this is our purpose, mission, history, and duties, kind of based on last year's annual report. And again, like this is something that we could change based on what we think could be improved. I'm not going to read through all of it because y'all have the presentation with y'all. And then the outline of goals is to educate and provide a solution for harm reduction on campus and housing issues. And again, this is just like a brief goal. Like when we actually start making the annual report, they're going to be more in-depth goal about what we want to see. And then recommendations to the city council is going to be based on the main topic that we're focusing on, because that's what it was last year. And it would be like harm reduction in housing issues. And then we used the annual report from last year to kind of make this presentation. So that's all we have for that. And I guess we can vote now.
Wait,
So I can go back.
not Jocelyn. Can you go back one more slide so I can put that in the minutes, please? Thank you.
This one? Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
This is where, even prior to us voting, talk to us, everybody, talk to us about what you all think, what you all see, recommendations, suggestions, ideas. This is a good time so that Yasin and the government affairs team understands what you all are requiring, or what you all, some new suggestions that you have, and then they can add it according to, obviously, the option that you all choose to vote. So give her and her team some general ideas about what you all think and ideas that you have.
Okay, I do think, Yasin, if possible, do you mind sharing the document with the links to the templates so we can kind of get a idea of like the full version of those templates? I also really like I really think we can use this presentation that you made here for the basis of our brainstorming, like almost when you do an outline for a project. So I think we can use that when we're determining our goals, our actual goals, and what we're actually going to do. So I definitely appreciate how you all structured this presentation.
Okay. And then you said share pull up the link with the different templates?
Yes, if possible. If not, that's fine. We can find them in the email.
I'll try. Okay, it should be. Are you able to see my slide right now? Well, are you able to see this?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll try to go in order, but that's the second one. This is the option 2, and I'll try to make a big screen. This is kind of like how it would look like. It's more of a green aesthetic compared to the other ones that are included. It's not as long, but we would customize it based on how many slides we need. And the annual report last year was, I want to say, about 5 to 6 pages. So we would just base it off of that. And then for this one, it's the third option. And I would say it's more of a simple, easy to understand template. Oh, a lot of colors. Here. So yeah, it has different parts of it and ways to customize it based on what we would need to have on an annual report. And that was the third option, by the way. And this is the first option. And it has, let's see, first slide. This. And then we can also always move around the actual pages, so we can put things where we want them. Like if we want the headshots to be in a certain page that would make them stand out more, then we would do that. And then the other one, the last fourth option, is this one. And it's more yellow. We have a lot of green on the other ones, so this is kind of different. And again, it would be customized based on what we need. So
to add to what you're saying, Yoslin, I know you said, like, for example, this one is more yellow. If you all wanted to change the color, we have the creative freedom to do that as well. And so understand that the options that Yoslin is showing you the colors and the structure of each page can be changed. And so, yeah, just FYI.
And then the first picture we would have, I know I didn't mention it on the slides, but it could be a picture that we take of like the front of the building where we meet. So just make it more personalized. We don't have to keep it exactly how it is. So, but yeah, those are the 4 templates we chose. Does anybody have more feedback based on the presentation? Okay. Then,
Sorry, go ahead.
oh, I would just say we can vote on the template.
So somebody just needs to make a motion and somebody just needs to second.
All right, I motion to approve the template.
To vote on the template.
To vote on the templates.
I second.
And
And I don't know. I'm sorry.
oh, I was gonna say, are we sending in the
Who
chat?
seconded?
Yeah, I think
Who seconded? Jordan voting for them.
Jacob seconded, and I believe that we're putting it in the chat, and then
Okay, I just need to know who seconded to put it in the minutes.
Cobra, my understanding is we're going to put it in the chat like our option, but we're going to do a vote on like voting, if that makes sense, like voting
So
on.
I'm trying to like, well, there's 2 options that you all can do it. So Nadia can say option 1, and then you all can use the raise hand feature, and Nadia can jot it down that way. Or you can put your option in the chat where everybody can see it, where Nadia has that as well. So whichever way that you all want to use technology today to vote is perfectly fine. Or Nadia can go do a roll call, and she can ask everybody, say your name, and then you can give her her option. So Nadia, you have the creative freedom to choose which way would be easier for you to navigate a vote.
Hey, Colbert, I just want to hop in just for Robert's rules for today's meeting. Once your chair entertains a motion from someone on the body to select an option, you're going to want to take a roll call vote, especially since this is a virtual meeting.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, well, I'll go by names then. Jordan,
Option 3.
you said 3.
Yes.
DeAndre Mays,
I like option 1.
option 1. Presley O'Malley,
Presley, FYI, Presley had to step out because there was inspections at her dorm, so she'll try to hop back in when there's time.
and then Sky. Tell me how to say your name again.
Sky Sykes. And I like option 2.
2. Yaslin,
I say option 1.
Kenna,
Option 1.
Jacob,
option 3.
so we have, and I chose option 1. So we have 2, 3, 4. We have 4 people for option 1, 2 people for option 3, and the only person that hasn't answered because she's not here right now is Presley. So we're in like majority. Well, it's only 4, so we would have to.
And I missed that for a second. What are the what was first, second, and third place, and by how many votes?
Option 1 had 4 votes. Option 3 had 2 votes. Option 2 had 2 votes, and then we're just waiting on Presley, but
Yeah, it'll still be a majority rule.
okay. So option
But-
one is that we're going with.
Okay.
All right.
yeah.
Quick question. We voted on this, Mr. Cole, so that means we don't have to motion to approve to make option one the template, right?
Right.
Yeah, perfect. So we can move on.
Yep. My understanding, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna stop screen sharing. And again, just a reminder to send your headshots before the next meeting. I'll stop.
All right, so moving on, we're still under committee reports. We're moving over to Community Outreach Committee, which I believe Jacob is chair over. Do you have any updates for that group? That's not for the housing group, but just the committee, if you have any updates.
Yeah, so I don't have any big updates right now, but I wanted to talk with the group about how we should reach out to the community organizations that we would like to invite either to the meeting or to also work with as well. I've been thinking about it and I'm planning to email them this week, and I will put our next meeting's time and invite them to that meeting. And I think the best course of action right now is to invite all of them and see who can visit for the meeting, because we don't know their availability, of course. But I just wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on that.
I'm okay with that. I think it would be very beneficial to hear what they all have to say, how they could contribute to the project. So.
I agree with Jordan. I think it's a good idea, but I don't know if that's something we're going to vote on now, but if it does become a yes, I think are you talking about like the next meeting, like that meeting after spring break, Jacob?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think it would be beneficial for like, whether like it's a group chat or whatever, like come up with some questions that we want to have asked, just so we're maximizing like everyone's time when we get there. It's not just,
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and both groups can actually do that and then submit those questions over to Jacob, if that's something that y'all want to do.
I think that's a good idea.
And just to clarify, I'm reaching out to the Salvation Army, the Winston-Salem Rescue Mission, and then City with Dwellings. Those are the three main organizations. If you know of any others that you think would be a good fit to reach out to, please let me know. You can send me an email or a text, either one.
Hey, Jacob, this is Amy. So Jacob, can you be clear, similar to what Scott was asking, what date are you suggesting you have invite the community organizations to?
Like the meeting date, this one, the second meeting for this month.
So the 16th.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page when we say invite them to a meeting, we know exactly what meeting we are all discussing. So just want to make sure that's clear. Thank you.
Jacob, I also have a question. You said Salvation Army, City Dwellings, and what else?
Winston-Salem Rescue Mission. They're in like downtown. Their offices are.
To your point, Jacob, my understanding from the meeting on February 2nd was that even though we didn't have the meeting on February, was it 16th or yes, the second February meeting, we didn't have an official quorum. We were supposed to vote on which community service project we wanted to do in regards to who we wanted to volunteer with. And so how do you want to go about that? Because if we wait, and it's fine to wait, just want to give you all some perspective. If we wait till the 16th to make an official decision, you all have about 2 to 3 weeks to also meet with them and do a community activity with them within a span of 2 or 3 weeks. Go ahead, Jacob, and then Jordan will get you next.
Okay. I personally think I don't know if we have the time nor the like just the time to work with these organizations. A lot of them have volunteer orientations that you have to attend and then get approved to then volunteer for their organizations. So I think our best course of action right now is for the meeting that they're invited to, we ask them very pertinent questions to our presentation, and we can use that information going forward. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
What I had to say basically went along with Jacob was going to say. I also think that we voting on what to do for this meeting would kind of be, or right now would kind of be out of order because we actually need to, in this meeting, if we still have a quorum, finalize what exactly we're going to do in that next course of action. That way, our next meeting with them, we'll have more organized questions, like Jacob said, and more organized viewpoint of what we want to do. So it's kind of not like, wasting time for the next meeting, if that makes sense.
Sky, you had something? I saw your hand raised.
I had a question about the community service event. Is that does it have to be with the specific group of people we're working towards, for our annual project, or is it something different?
Usually it's based off our annual project, and so it gets us some hands-on experience with the information that we're researching.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Jordan, is back to you, FYI.
Oh, okay. I believe our next course of action would be we would have to do a vote on approving to invite the organizations that Jacob is talking about to our next meeting. And what else? It slipped my mind. There was something else that I felt like we probably needed to do a vote on. Approving that we're meeting in the chats to send 3 questions to Jacob. And Jacob, if you can kind of provide us a deadline that you want us to do that for, we can vote on those 2 things.
I would say, I mean, I don't know when spring break is for your schools, but for mine it's March 7th through the 15th. So I would say the day before the 15th would be good. And if you want to get, yeah, that'd be.
Let's put a pin in that. Quick question, Mr. Coble. When is our next meeting? Because if your spring break is from, you said the 7th through when, Jacob?
The 15th.
7th through the 15th.
I think Winston-Salem's is the 9th through the 13th, I think.
9th through the 13th.
So pretty much y'all have it the same week because the 7th is a Saturday. So Jacob
Yes,
is just.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
I was just making sure. I wanted to see when everybody else's spring break is, because would we be able to have a meeting if somebody is, on spring break during that week?
As long as we have quorum, I believe we should be fine. What you all voted on was the first and third Monday of every month. So the next meeting would be the 16th. And then we talked about voting about it being in person as well. So just a FYI.
Okay. Does anybody know Winston-Salem spring break dates?
Salem's is from the 7th to the 16th, something like that. We go back to school on that 16th.
Okay, well then we should be fine. That just excludes one school. We should be fine. All right,
According to Google, Wake Forest will be the same week as well. So pretty much the 9th through the 13th.
Okay, so we're good.
Okay.
So then we can go back to we're basically going to do an approval of inviting the community, the organizations to our next meeting on the 16th, and then we're also voting to send 3 questions from the housing group and the harm reduction group to Jacob by the 15th. If that
The
makes sense.
15th or the 14th?
Oh, the 14th.
Okay. And I second that. I'm gonna do roll call for it. Jordan.
Is she cutting out for you all?
Yes.
Okay. I guess just give her a second. Internet.
Can y'all hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Okay. Jordan Moore. I'm sorry if you said something. I didn't hear you.
Aye.
DeAndre Mays.
Yay.
Me, I approve as well. Presley O'Malley. Is she back?
She is not.
Okay. Skies.
Sykes and I.
Skykes. Okay.
You're good. You're good. But it's Sykes. Yep.
Sykes. Okay. Let me put that beside your name. Yaslin Nola Marine.
Yay.
Kenna Burden.
Yes.
And Jacob.
Yeah.
All right, so next one, we're still under officer reports, but we're going to move on to the housing group for the research that we've done. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make a document for the information just yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of read out some of the information that was provided in our group. And then by tonight, I'll be able to send out an actual document for you all to review with the same information on it. It's going to be typed up the same, if that's okay. All right, give me
I
one
second.
moment, and
I'm
I'll
gonna second it. My bad.
give me one moment. All right. So in our group, it was me, Presley, Sky, Jacob, and DeAndre. We all chose a school, and for each school, we researched ways that they have, implemented resources to help with housing insecurities and what they could probably do moving forward. So for Sky, she had Salem College. And Sky, did you want to read out what you said? Did y'all, for our housing group, did you all want to read out what you said on your own?
Yeah, that works. Let me
Okay.
pull it up.
So we'll start with Sky, and she has Salem College.
So I reached out to like I don't know what his position is, but he does stuff with like housing insecurity. His name is Elijah Sigler. Um, we don't really have that many cases for housing insecurity because we're such like a small institution. So it's, when you get smaller numbers, you have less and less things. But it doesn't mean zero. In the few cases like that we have had, sometimes student emergency funds have been used to help with rent for like off-campus students. And there's also been a case when students with housing insecurity were able to work with like our residence life team, and they were able to provide them with like temporary free on-campus housing. And Salem's also in touch with like some programs like Sunnyside Ministry. I don't know if anyone's heard of that. And then Crisis Control Ministry. And then Elijah just told me it was important to note that with those with housing insecurity, it's a lot that goes on when deciding, I guess, who to help. And so they operate on like a need by need basis. They also offer like for on-campus residents like myself, they offer us like on break housing. So for like winter break, Thanksgiving break, spring break, we can stay on campus. But I did have a couple of suggestions, which I think they should offer summer break housing for those who don't have like ideal home lives. And then like an on-campus like deliverable, kind of like a pamphlet or a flyer that can be made for those who don't feel comfortable going to Elijah or other on-campus leaders. So they know like the resources that they have available without having to disclose themselves just yet, because maybe they could figure out something if they don't feel comfortable going, if that makes sense.
Thank you. All right. For me, I decided to focus on Forsyth Tech. We don't have a representative this go around for Forsyth Tech, but they're still one of the colleges included in Winston-Salem, so I decided to take a look at them. And basically what I found is that because they don't have campus housing, they more so have student support for off-campus housing. So basically they have a couple of programs like Forsyth Tech Cares, Single Stop, and College Student Connection, basically where they provide like, financial assistance, emergency fund assistance, rent support, food resources, legal aid, things of that nature. It just helps students, who live off campus kind of serve as like, a lobby between them and their landlord, or if they need resources. And they also offer, let me find it on here. I'm sorry, you all. They also offer legal support, helping with legal support. Let's say a student, is having like a little disagreement or so with their landlord, they offer support in that way sometimes. One of the ways that I figured that they could probably improve is through, give me one moment. We all sent these in messages, so like you have to find the information throughout them. I put that they one way that they could improve is by creating like a navigator or a guide of just safe student housing, off campus, or landlords. They could partner with student friendly landlords in the Winston-Salem area, and also expand their emergency. They could also expand their emergency rental resources as well. So that's what I did. Now we're going to move on to, I believe next on that list was Jacob.
Yeah, so I did UNC School of the Arts, and I've lived in both of the residential locations we have on campus for undergrad college students, because we also have high schoolers on our campus and they have their own specific dorms. So we have Artist Village and Center Stage, and we have good housing availability because our student body is so small. We have very few cases of unhoused students, and if we do, especially the Department of Residential Life here takes that very seriously, and they try to house people either in Center Stage or Arts Village. The only improvements that I've seen, or that I would believe would like make it better here at UNCSA, is for residential life to help students find off-campus housing. So I know that especially around the area here at UNCSA, there's a lot of available housing for students, and a lot of students live on the streets right beside of campus. But I know multiple, especially who have found it very difficult to find affordable housing. And I think if there was some type of kind of like liaison to give information to students about the availability in the area, that would be great. I know that a few years ago, they used to do a listing of available apartments and houses that are very close to the campus, and I actually don't know why they stopped doing that. So I think if we could somehow bring that back, that would be great. And the other improvement that I would like to see is that for our Artist Village dorms, which the first years are required to stay in, and you usually stay in for your second year, you have to move out, or you have to leave your dorm for winter break and also spring break and fall break. And if, let's say you can't afford a plane ticket back home, or you would prefer to stay in your dorm for those breaks, I think there needs to be an exception there. But yeah, that's what I found.
Perfect. Thank you, Jacob. And then DeAndre, if you would like to present your information that you sent.
Yeah, sure. So I did Winston-Salem State University as a student there myself. Some of the notes, I do know that WSSU provides a variety of on-campus housing, um, nine residential halls to be exact. Yeah, 9 residential halls and 3 different forms of off-campus housing, giving students multiple ways to go about housing. I know for 2025, 2026 year, they expanded this off-campus housing um, to over 300 beds, including student billing and financial aid, allowing more financial aid to cover housing. I know the school partners with off-campus housing support. The university uses, I got the name, hold on. I got the names of who they partner with. Okay, yeah, excuse me. So the university partners with services like college pads and hosts off-campus housing fairs, helping students find vetted and safe, affordable housing. I figured this was important, to manage manage the large number of students, housing issues and things like that. As far as resources, I did research on resources for students facing housing insecurities. WSSU does acknowledge that some students may experience housing instability, um, things like homelessness or unstable living situations. So they provide to be identified and reported as homeless. They have a housing, I forgot what it was, a housing form you can fill out that lets you stay on campus during like holidays, Christmas, things like that. They also have a food pantry, a resource center um, for students and things like that. I did take notes on what WSSU could do to improve housing security, um, increase guaranteed housing capacity, create partnerships with local landlords. Because like I said, WSSU only has like 3, I believe. Yeah, only 3 main like supported housing. So expand on that and guarantee housing slots for more students than just freshmen. Um, this will reduce reliance on general market options and ensure more students have guaranteed placements. I also noted that enhanced emergency and break housing support, meaning that many students struggle with housing during breaks or emergencies, like winter, summer break, things like that. Offer like subsidized break housing, provide like stipends and things like that. I figured to include, what's this? Yeah, yeah, provide stipends, travel, yeah, and provide stipends, travel support, things like that for students dealing with those capabilities. And also strengthen financial aid housing costs for students may put that they may be struggling with unstable housing, things like that. So yeah, up the financial aid costs for housing. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you. And then I'm going to briefly go over, unless, is Presley back in the meeting? No, she is not. I'm going to go over briefly what Presley has said. She more so focused on security of housing, and so she shared with us that, Wake Forest prioritizes student safety and secure housing through a combination of physical security measures, policies, and community support. They All residence halls and university managed housing are equipped with secure doors, locks, key cards, access systems to control entry and protect their belongings. Students are encouraged to lock their rooms, avoid propping doors, things of that nature. And they also work with it says they also work with campus wide to create a secure environment, offering emergency support, safety information, and connection to university police services. So hers is more so focused on the security of it. If that document is sent out tonight or tomorrow, we'll have more information based on what they do for as far as housing insecurities on campus, and basically what they can do to ensure that people have a place to stay on campus or off campus. And if that's not sent out in the document, that'll be sent out along with the information sometime this week. And just to reiterate, all the information that we read off today can be also found in the document that I'm going to send out later.
And to add to that, Jordan, on our side, as far as the city, we have an individual who works for the city. His name is Michael Blair, who works specifically when it comes to housing. And so we actually wanted to suggest and recommend and see if you all wanted to, this would have to be a vote, but if you all within the next meeting would like to have them speak at that meeting, as far as y'all having questions and things of that nature too, but also just to get the perspective of somebody who works on this on a citywide perspective as well. Amy, am I missing anything?
Hey, Cole, I was going to jump in here real quick. As you mentioned, Michael Blair is the Housing Development Director here for the city. What he said, because this is, housing is one of his focus areas, is that if the body does at some point get to a point where they've created a draft of their work such that when he's able to see it, he can give you guys some framing feedback, which is just some constructive feedback on if you're headed in the right direction, some thoughts that you can plan your work around. He's happy to do that. But I think it's going to be on this body to kind of give him feedback on when you have a draft product ready for him to consume. So the next meeting may be a little premature. Just it sounds like you got a lot of folks potentially coming to that meeting to share information and consume that information. So I would use that strategically, and I can help coordinate that with the group as well. Thanks.
That's even better. Thanks a lot. Amy, you have anything to add? Okay, perfect. Okay, Jordan, putting this back in your door to go to the next part.
Oh, I was talking on mute. My apologies, you all. I was saying we could revisit that after we do the review from the harm reduction group. That way, once we have, our visitors in the meeting and we have a, more defined view or vision of what we're going to do, we can formulate those questions. But I think it's very important that just like we're coming up with 3 questions from each group to ask for Jacob, who he's going to have bring in the people, we do that for the visitors for the meeting that Mr. Jelani was talking about, you and Colbert were talking about. If that makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay, we'll revisit it after this one. So harm reduction group, that's Luke, and I cannot remember the other members of it, but if you all have some information you will all like to present, the floor is yours.
Okay. I sent my information in, and then my group members will send their information in next meeting, I assume. And I will also send that document in as well. So, and I also, with my harm reduction, I already went ahead and implemented housing into it, because what I did is I put harm reduction like on the campuses, dorms, like Winston-Salem, but you'll see when I send the document in. So Winston-Salem has an active harm reduction network centered around the Twin City harm reduction. They provide syringe services, mobile outreach, HIV, HCV testing, and operate out of Green Street. Mobile services across the Forsyth County. Their mission emphasizes protecting the rights and health of people who use drugs. And then I said, why does it matter for college students? College students in Winston-Salem, such as WSSU, Wake Forest, UNCCA, Salem College, they face unique risks related to substance use, mental health, and emergency response. And it could help reduce preventable injuries and overdoses, provides non-judgmental support and resources, helps RA and housing staff respond safely, normalizes safety behaviors like testing tubes and seeking help. We can place like harm reduction kits on WSSU dorms such as Martin Schneider, Covington, Gleason, and other campuses. The kits would include first aid supplies such as band-aids, white gauzes, saline gloves, fentanyl test strips, condoms and sexual health resources, hydration packets, mental health hotline cards, and campus counseling info. We could partner with the TCHR, I'm sorry, TCHRC to provide overdose recognition and response, how to use naloxone, how to talk to students without stigma, and when to call emergency services. We could put small discrete boxes in dorms, lobbies, or bathrooms containing first aid kits, hygiene products. We can also include QR codes. We can also implement peer-led education, such as safer night out workshops, panels with partners, social media campaigns, and harm reduction basics. We can invite other organizations to the school to talk at student events, provide mobile outreach on campus, offer supply distribution days. And the ones that I said that we could reach out to was campus counseling centers, Forsyth County Public Health, Twin City Harm, and housing and residence life. And then I also said we could do a survey like within the students at WSSU or Wake Forest, what safety items they would use, where they want the kids placed, the comfort level, or the barriers to access help. And then we would choose one dorm to start at, and then we would like go in a circle to see. And I will send the website, so that's at the end of my document. And I also said that we could host annual wellness weeks, and also just post QR codes, posters, and post on social media.
Thank you so much, Nadia. That was very informative. And I also appreciate how you gave options of what we can do with the information that you provided. Is there anyone else from your group with the information?
No, I don't know if anybody else in my group had anything. It wasn't said in the group chat or not, but if not, then they will present next week.
Okay. Let me see here. Give me one moment.
And Jordan, FYI, while you're looking that up, could we motion and vote on adding, because we forgot to include the public relations team for the committee reports so that they can give their updates within this committee report section.
Oh, yes. My apologies. I'm glad you caught that.
All right. So we need to, because it's not in there, we'll just need to motion, and then somebody will second it, and then DeAndre would give us update.
Perfect. Quick question, because I'm noticing that Kenna is not in the meeting anymore. Do we still have a quorum?
We do. I checked. She actually, I know that one of the meetings earlier this semester, she talked about having to leave early because of a meeting. She messaged me before she left, and I definitely counted to make sure we did.
Okay, and then quick question, Yoselin, were you in the harm reduction group?
Yes, I was.
Do you have any information to present?
Right now, no. I was gonna send the information to Luke later.
Okay, perfect. Well, if possible, you guys can collaborate and then just email that document out to us, and then we can review it this week. All right. And I'll hand over the floor. Sorry that it was not included in our agenda, but Public Relations Committee, if you all have any information to present.
Before we do that, we have to motion to add them, and then we have to vote to add them, and then he can speak, because it's not 8 minutes.
Well, I motion to add Public Relations to committee reports.
I
for-
second. Oh, I second.
Hold on.
Jacob second.
Sorry.
Jacob second that, right?
Go ahead, Amy.
Yep, sorry. So here's the technicalities. Jordan, you open the floor for motions. Someone else has to be the person to make the first motion. Then a second person second, another person seconds it. So you're just, as our chair, you're opening the floor to entertain motions. And then someone has to be the one that makes the motion and then someone seconds it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And when you say it, please say, I, Amy, motion, blank, blank, I, Colbert, second. So that way you're helping Nadia as she's trying to type her notes.
All right, I open the floor to motion to approve to add public relations to committee updates.
I motion to add public relations to the updates. This is Sky.
And I second.
Say your name with it, Jacob.
Oh, Jacob, sorry.
All right, go ahead, DeAndre.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Quick question.
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry. Quick question. We don't have to do the roll call vote, or we're just approving to add, and then we're going moving forward.
Good question. Amy, do we have to do a roll call vote? Did I miss that? Okay. Yes, we do. That's my mistake. Go ahead, Nadia.
Sorry. I didn't even know I had to do it anyway. Sorry. Okay, Jordan Moore,
Yeah.
DeAndre Mays.
Yeah.
Nadia, well, I agree. Presley O'Malley. She bad.
She's not.
Sykes
I.
and Yaslin
Aye.
and Jacob.
I.
Okay.
Go ahead, DeAndre.
For public relations, basically, I've recently been. I'm gonna share with my group later on. I've started doing a draft of the upcoming presentation for April 13th. Let me see if I can share it with you all. Give me a second. You see my screen?
Yes.
You can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay. So this is what I have now for it's not, like I said, it's not 100% complete, obviously, but this is what I've started on doing for the CAD presentation. I was going to send this and also reach out to my group and let them know, include them as well in creating this flyer. I was gonna put where it says like Royal Gratitude. I don't know if it's annual cover or like I was gonna say like second or third annual. I don't know. If you wanna add input on it.
Let me think on that. I don't think it would be an annual, but I'll get back to you on that.
But yeah, I was gonna send this and ask my group to create flyers and posters as well for it. Let me stop sharing. Okay. I was also gonna in the upcoming meeting with my group. Actually, I would like to add, can community engagement send who they've been reaching out to as well, just so I can like document this, have it as well. Because in the next meeting with my group, I was gonna talk about documenting and working with government affairs and including making sure they have what they need and things like that.
Yes, you
So
can
they
reach out to them. You can reach out to them as well and just ask them. And so when you have your meeting with your team, that information is just included with your meeting. So this is the aspect of like contacting team members based off the groups that they're in and just getting more information. So it doesn't have to be like an official vote or anything like that.
okay. What else? I think that's about it. I'll have more once we
To add to what the flyer DeAndre sent, so in our meeting, we talked about him creating a flyer as a promotional thing for you all once he finalizes it and once you all agree on it, for you all to send it to teachers or students so people can come to the meeting on the 13th and actually watch you all's presentation and things of that nature. And so that's why that flyer has been created. And so that when he talks about working with Jacob on community engagement and Yoslin with government affairs, it's from that perspective, just a fly. Back to you, Jordan.
Okay, and I was gonna say actually once that flyer is created, if you can, I know at Winston State we have a director of like what is it called? Director of He's a director of something dealing with activities and things of that nature. I cannot get it out right now, but if you all have one like that on your campus, you can have them send it out to students as well. But thank you so much, DeAndre, for that update. Think we're gonna move forward to the next thing, old business. So I'm going to open the floor for someone to motion to move
Give
on.
give me a second, Jordan. Jelani or Amy, do we have to, because I think this is where I messed up. Do we have to motion in a second every time we move forward, or can we move forward without motion in a second?
As long as you're moving in line with what the agenda says, you don't have to make motions. It's only if you're
Okay.
jumping ahead or moving backwards.
Or adding something. Okay, Jordan. So you don't even have to motion. You can just move forward.
Perfect. Well, we're gonna move forward to old business, um, which is basically to revisit or redefine the goal for the community project. Sometimes when we have two topics, so it's pretty broad, we can kind of lose sight basically of what we're doing. So the goal originally, which is also included in that amazing presentation that Government Affairs made, the goal is to combine harm reduction and housing security for universities, basically providing that information or finding solutions for the issues that we find within those topics. Does anybody have any questions about that or any revisions that they want to make, anything? Or any comments, period? So we're all still good with combining the two?
Yes.
All right. Well, then I guess that means we can move on to our next part, which is to actually brainstorm the direction. So we've done some research, and obviously we'll still be researching as we go. But with the information that was presented from both the housing group and the harm reduction group, that should give us kind of an insight. We can find a common ground to kind of brainstorm what direction we want to go in. We're now on a kind of tight time limit. So if we still have our quorum, hopefully we can vote on something to do today, come up with a topic and brainstorm our next points. Does anybody have any ideas that they want to share? I know Nadia shared some ideas in her presentation. Does anybody else have any ideas? Sky?
I think I like how housing they went with like the specific colleges of Winston-Salem. So if harm reduction could like if they could like go like reach out, not reach out necessarily, but like research like how like specific campuses in like Winston-Salem's area have like what their initiatives are towards harm reduction. And I think it should be like the presentation as a whole should have a framework of how like of course like how harm reduction and housing insecurity coincide, like how one can cause the other and vice versa. And then it should go into like initiatives that each like school has in place, and then our recommendations for then like what the schools should do. So it's kind of focused, not more so like the whole community, but like the college community, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I know when we only got a presentation from Nadia, I know she focused on WSSU, what they've done, basically like what we did in our group, what they've done and what they could possibly do. So if we can just get that information this week from the other members of a school that they choose of what they've done and what they could possibly do in regards to harm reduction, that would be very helpful. Does anybody else have any ideas on what to do for the project? Well, I can share mine and then afterwards we'll just, I don't know, hand the floor to everybody and then maybe they can share the thing that comes to the top of their head. Only because we have such a tight schedule. We need input from everybody. Engagement is very, very important. So Sky shared her ideas and then I'll just, give the floor to other people to share what they have on their mind. For me, I was thinking since in our housing group, everybody had kind of had like the common theme of, informing students on what they could do as far as housing security goes, when they were like, we're putting things that the schools could do. So an idea that I had was creating a guide, almost like a what to do guide. So where do you go if, you know, it's winter break, where can you stay? Or who do you contact for this? I know at Winston State we had a workshop a while back. It was called the Chain of Order workshop. So it's like if you received a bad grade, who do you go to this person? If you did this, who do you go for that? So I was thinking CAB could probably create a guide, and then they can also connect it with harm reduction to create a guide of, where do you go for if you're dealing with issues regarding that matter. That was just an idea for me. And then it can also tie into what Nadia said as far as the kits go. We can put the guide and the kits together, partner with organizations, put the guide and the kits together and send those out.
And
Or
I'm sorry, my
I would
bad.
say, or create them and have a drop off to each campus university and they can disperse it.
And I also wanted to add that I stay off campus and there is a man named, I don't remember his first name, but his last name is like Jefferson, and he's like the director of housing. And I could email him and talk to him about actually like doing the housing kits and see if we can get on board about that. But I don't know if we had to vote to do that or not. But I know that he would probably be down for that. He's the I could email him either by today or tomorrow to see what's his thoughts on that. But it's just I wanted to get approval from y'all too to see if y'all were on the same page as me.
Yes, we will have to vote on it.
Okay.
Amy, do you have something concerning that?
But I know he's only over Winston-Salem housing, so
Hmm.
you know
I
it would
only
only
asked
be
you because your
it would
mic
only
was
be
on.
over. So.
Sorry, Nadia. Go ahead. Sorry. My apologies. Yeah, go ahead, Amy. My apologies.
I'm good. I don't have anything.
Okay, so for that, Nadia, my hesitation is that we've already had a discussion from community projects about what community service type of things we would do specifically for that. And so voting on that would dismiss the aspect and the work that has been done there. So that would be my hesitation there.
Okay. He might be useful in like the bigger project, but it's just that was just a suggestion.
Yep.
I would say this, if it's okay with you, Colbert, if Nadia, if you have time and then you can just send out, you can even do it in the group chat just of how you think it would be beneficial or what benefit you think that person may have to the project, then maybe we can explore more, if that's okay, Colbert.
Yeah, I don't think anything will be wrong with that, Amy Jelani.
It's just information. We wouldn't be voting on it. It would just be how that person, how you think
Oh,
it could be
okay.
beneficial.
Based off WSSU's resources. So that
Yes.
would essentially go to Nadia's side of the project, specifically with WSSU.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense. Yes, information based, yes. Then we wouldn't have to vote on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what she was saying was I don't think it would necessarily take away from the resources that Jacob is presenting because those are community based, and then what Nadia is presenting is university based. And honestly, if we can find somebody from each school that can kind of deal with that, that might actually be able to help as far as university based goes as well. But that's just deeper thinking. So if you can find a way that they benefit, you let us know, Nadia, in that group chat, then we can talk about it in our next formal meeting. I
Okay.
don't see any harm in that.
If I may, so yes, information sharing within your individual group chats is definitely, A-okay. It just can't be in our larger group where it could lead into a formal business discussion. But Nadia, a lot of the things that you're lifting, I even wrote down on notes on my side was cost, right? What is the cost of creating these kits? What
Mhm.
is who's going to be responsible for the upkeep? So if we have them stationed in different places, who's going to be responsible for replenishing it? So I guess my thing for you is to challenge yourself to think beyond just that one idea, but who's your partner in it? So is it a community partner? So is it a community partner that would be helping fund to get things in the kits? Is it someone on each individual campus that is going to say, you all present it to your campus and the campus accepts it, and then they are going to be responsible for the replenishing of and providing of? Because that is a significant budget that you're thinking of if you want a kit that would be able to support your campuses, the cost behind that, right? So you will need to find who that partner is. So that's, who are you going to connect with? So kind of thinking beyond just that, but then the how.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
say make sure you kind of go all the way through thinking that.
Okay.
And I was going to add, even if, it may not be feasible this go around, we're essentially trying to provide ways or research on, a call to helping out, or, hey, this is the issue and this is how you all might be able to help. So maybe we could explore it being a PSA or, just a call for these communities, I mean, not communities, these organizations and other aspects to help or provide these things for students. We present the problem, what they can do, X, Y, Z. I'm going to turn the floor over to, we heard from Sky and Nadia. Jacob?
Well, and we're talking about like the project moving forward, right?
Yes, what we can do.
I well, on the community engagement side, of course, inviting those people will be greatly beneficial in us getting information about the community of Winston-Salem and the unhoused situation regarding that. I think specifically for UNCSA, and maybe for the other schools as well, if you've not reached out to the your like residential life departments, that would be great to collect that information. But yeah, that's all I have.
All right. Yoselin, did you have anything you wanted to add?
After hearing what Sky said about like looking at each campus thing and focusing on that, I would think I would focus on the resources available for like harm reduction because that's what I'm a part of, and just seeing what Salem College has available and the resources we already have and what more we could do to improve that.
DeAndre, anything you would like to add?
Yeah, I did like Sky's idea, and I would probably give more detail and research into what Winston-Salem can do far as being able to house students with hard times finding housing and things like that. Yeah, so
Alrighty. So that puts us back into, we're going to discuss next steps. That puts us back into more research. And so this week, what we would need is the rest of the research from the harm reduction group. And then what I'm hearing is from Yoselin and DeAndre, you all want to do more research on how that can affect each school individually, right? Okay, along with the questions that we would have for the organizations that Jacob is going to bring in. Jacob?
Could we put all of this information in like a Google Drive or Google Docs, something that where
It's
all
going in my.
Yeah, it's in the minutes.
It's
Like
in the
everything
minutes.
us will be in the minutes.
That's what
okay.
I'm writing. Like it'll be sent out probably like within by the end of the week.
Oh, I mean all our research.
Oh
That
yeah, Jordan said she's gonna send the documents, and I will send my documents as well. It's gonna be attached with the document with the minutes.
Yeah, I get what you're saying though, Jacob. He wants both of it combined, all the research that we're doing into one document.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
because I
Okay.
think that'd be great, and maybe we can discuss that at the next meeting. But that'd be great when we start actually putting together the presentation.
Okay. As far as deadlines go, because like I said, we have a tight schedule with the new research that you all want to do, and then the research that we're waiting
Hold on,
on.
Jordan. Can you hear
Yes, I can hear you.
There's echo on yours.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Do y'all hear the? It's a static. Sorry, I said echo. Y'all hear the static? Go ahead, talk,
yeah.
Jordan.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but there is a static. I don't know what it is.
Oh, is it preventing you all from hearing me?
We could hear you. Just I don't know. It's just a static. Yeah, it came out of nowhere, so I just wanted to mention it. Go ahead.
I was just suggesting deadlines. I was saying we're on a tight schedule, so all the research, the new research that you all want to do, along with the research from harm reduction, do you all think it's possible that you can have that in by Friday? Like in an email so we can all take a look at it, because by the end of the week, the minutes should be going out. I believe now we're sending out the agenda beforehand, so if everybody could have that information by the end of the week, is that possible for you all?
I have also a suggestion and a solution to that as well. Give me a second. I'm going to share my screen. So one of the things I don't remember who I talked to about it. I think I talked to you all about it, but creating a calendar for you all so then we can also send this within minutes. And so I'm going to share my screen. All right, can you all see my screen? Yes, okay, great. So Amy and I brainstormed a calendar that would be beneficial to the team as far as deadlines and things of that nature that would be for these next 2 months. And so today is obviously March 2nd, so today's meeting is here. And so Jordan, you just talked about finalizing information for example, the harm reduction, but also housing and things of that nature. And so we can use this calendar to also, when you were talking about next steps, implement information within this calendar that we need. And then as this calendar, we can send this out on Wednesday with the minutes. And so everybody has a visual understanding of what to expect and what deadlines are, right? And so based off what you all have seen, this is what Amy and I have created as far as things to pay attention to. And just a FYI, we do have highlights for both March and April of things to like mainly look forward to. But as far as those deadlines, we can talk about that now and finalize that within this calendar. And then we can send the calendar out on Wednesday when we send the minutes. So as you all review this, let me know if you all have any questions, but I also don't want to miss the aspect of the deadlines that you all have for both housing and harm reduction, and we can implement it in the calendar as well.
I'm sorry, Colbert. Can you repeat what you said one more time?
Yep. I said that as you all briefly look at this calendar, let me know if you have any questions, but I also want to actually write in the deadlines that you all just spoke of. So, Jordan, you would talk about housing, sending information, I believe you said on Friday, and things of that nature. And so we can add that to this calendar. And so this calendar will be sent out with the minutes. And so not only does everybody have the minutes of what was discussed, but this calendar is a visual representation of deadlines that would be coming up as well. And so actually, as I talk about that, let's go through it color coded real quick. So blue are the meetings that we have for the rest of the month. And so we have today's meeting, the 16th is the third one, third Monday of March. Then we have a meeting on April 6th. And then our last meeting would be April 20th. And we still need to vote on it being in person as far as these meetings. And so that's in blue. In green over here, the minutes will be sent from Jordan to everybody on Wednesdays, the Wednesday of the week of the meeting. And so you have it obviously the 4th, the 18th of March, and then the 8th of April as well. As you all will see, it says agenda will be sent to Colbert and Amy. Nadia and Jordan, we had talked about potentially Nadia helping and assisting with the agenda. And so one of the things that Amy and I brainstorm, and y'all let me know if this makes sense and if this sounds good, is that as Nadia, as you are creating the minutes, and as you finalize the minutes, from those minutes, you can use that to leverage creating an agenda. And so using the template that Jordan sent on Friday, you can mimic that by saying, okay, based off the minutes I created, this is what we can discuss within the next meeting. And so you would send that. So you would send the minutes to Jordan that Wednesday, and then Jordan would not finalize, but send the minutes out on that Wednesday as well. But with me and Amy reviewing it. And so does that make sense? Is that okay? And not okay, cool. And so the minutes will be sent out to the team on Wednesday, but the agenda will be sent to Amy and I. So the agenda will not be sent to the team. And so that's why it's a different color code. And so I know that, Jordan, you said you wanted the information on Friday. I can put that here. Typically what Amy and I thought that would be all information would be sent. Amy, did we say Monday or Tuesday? Because I just realized I put this on a Tuesday. And I think we said Monday.
It just has to be there no later than Tuesday,
Okay.
in case people are doing work over the weekend. They can
Yes.
gather, finalize things on Monday and get it to us no later than
By
Tuesday, so
Tuesday,
that way it can
yeah.
be shared on Wednesday. The sooner the better, y'all, right? So
Mhm.
just because we say Tuesday doesn't mean you have to wait until Tuesday.
Right. So no later than Tuesday, every information is sent. For example, Yoselin's presentation and is an example of like materials that will be sent. That will be everything be sent by that Tuesday. So then by that Wednesday, the agenda and every information or material that you all have sent will go out that Wednesday, which will give you all enough time to review that information. But it also gives you enough time to let us know that if you're going to be at this meeting as well. Jordan?
I was going to say, based on just our patterns, I wanted to see if we can, even though it can be sent no later than Tuesday, still shoot for that deadline of Friday. Because my only fear is that we'll say Tuesday and then receive the information until probably about Thursday.
So what you're recommending is that for these two to be pushed back a day behind. So this one, the 10th, will be pushed, the send information will be pushed to Monday, and the agenda and everything will be sent on Tuesday. Is that what you're saying? I want to make sure I'm understanding.
The agenda could still be sent on Wednesday, maybe
Okay.
just a grace period, only because of just the patterns that I've seen. Just we have a grace
Okay.
send it. If
So
that
you're
makes
saying like that, like
yes.
this? Okay, that works for
Does
me.
that make sense?
Hmm?
Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
Just to confirm, you want it on Monday, not Friday.
Well, we can do Monday or Friday. We do have to vote on that as well, right?
Yes.
Whichever works best once we vote, Friday or Monday. My only concern is that I just want to be able to have the information. We've fallen behind on information a lot. Every week we've missed the mark. I just want to know that we solid have that information to send out that Wednesday.
Okay. Then I'll put that on Monday and then have this as a proposed. We can vote on this, but right now, Monday and an agenda with the material sent on Wednesdays.
Okay.
Okay, that works for me. The 27th. So you will see red on the 27th of March and the 13th of April. And so for this project, it's best for us to finalize it March the 27th, which is a Friday. And so because we will not have a meeting this week and everything essentially will be sent to us, this week is the week that we can finalize that project, right? And have everything finalized as a draft by the 27th. And so the meeting on the 6th, we can look through what our drafted information is. And also Jelani talked about sending this to Michael Blair as well, so he can give us his suggestions. And so we can finalize the suggestions the week of the 6th and things of that nature, right? And so that will give us more than enough time to have our presentation ready by the 13th at 4 p.m.
And Kohler, can I jump in real quick? In addition to sending the draft to Michael Blair, we can work out the logistics of this. What I highly recommend is at least our leadership, our chair and vice chair, our president, even if it's a virtual format, to present this information to Michael so that he can give real-time feedback. I know we're up against the clock on some of these, so I think maybe a simultaneous sharing it with him one day and then maybe a presenting out of the information to him in some format may be appropriate so we can get some real-time feedback that they can share with the group. Does that make sense? Kobe, you're muted. I don't know.
My bad. Yes, that makes sense. So just to recall, so I don't miss anything, you're saying that having this finalized on the 27th to give that information to Michael Bell as far as a draft so that it will give him enough time to give us some feedback.
That's right. The spirit of the exercise is that whatever we would be presenting to council on that final presentation date, we will be doing in a preliminary form to Michael Blair ahead of that date.
Okay.
So even if it's, if it's not every period and every T crossed, he will be seeing the meat of the content on at that meeting.
Okay. Okay. And that meeting would be the 6th, as far as potentially him being in person?
We could look at that. What I would recommend is that at least the leadership, chair and vice chair, are available to present that to him prior to that meeting, and that can be shared out. Now he can attend that meeting as well to provide some feedback in that group or however we think he should be used. But I think we should make space prior to that date for him to give some feedback on what you guys have so far.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so then Amy and I would speak to Jordan and Luke about potentially presenting it to him this week of the 30th. Is that?
And I say all that, we'll have to check his schedule, but
yes. Everything is up in there. Okay, that makes sense then. Yep. Great. All right, now that we've explained all that, does anybody, before I even give the floor to y'all, Amy, do you have any input?
Nope. We will just need everyone. Everyone needs to agree on your deadlines so we can make this calendar be an actual in motion action plan, if you will.
Okay. Anybody have any questions before you all move to vote? Anybody have suggestions, recommendations?
No.
Okay. All right. Jordan, I give the floor back to you. Go ahead.
I was gonna say this isn't necessarily pertaining to the calendar, but more so about the information that we have to send. So I know that we're waiting on. I have to send the document for the housing group. I know
Mhm.
Harvard is going to send their information in regards to their research. Sky and DeAndre, what information were you all sending again? As far as the research that you wanted to further.
Mine was on ways that WSSU can better accommodate for students in destitute of like housing situations, not being able to find housing.
Um, is that not already included in your research that you sent to the group? Or is it an expansion of that information?
Yeah, more like an expansion of that information because I had more so uh, ways that WSSU accommodates for it than that.
Okay. And then Sky, what information were you sending?
I didn't have any set
I
information to
think it
send.
was I think it was Yaslin. Yeah, it was Yaslin.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yaslin.
Yes. What was the question again?
I was asking for clarification on the information that you were sending on Monday in regards you wanted to further your research on harm reduction, right?
Yeah, and then look at the resources that are available at Salem's campus.
Okay, got you. And then we're also sending in questions that day, 3 questions from each group. So 6 total to Jacob for the visitors for our next meeting. Right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, perfect. Is everybody else? We're good on that? Perfect.
One thing I do want to highlight for the calendar is that the governor's mansion, I know we talked about this. We are currently working to see if we can find a day and time that they're available that we can potentially go to Raleigh and go visit. As soon as I get that information, I will let everybody know. And then if you all, not even if, I will send a pretty much like a excuse absence of some sort to you all, so you all can send that to your teachers if you all choose to go as well. And so just FYI, just be aware that that will come in the future. We don't have control over the dates, as Amy mentioned for the last meeting as well. We don't have control over the dates. So depending on the dates that they give us, we'll let you all know. So that's why on the calendar, you'll see that it says TBD. So FYI. All right, now I'm going to give the floor back to you, Jordan, for you to motion so we can finalize this, unless anybody has anything they want to add.
All right. We just need someone to motion to approve the calendar and then someone to second that motion. And then remember that you're following the format of I so and so motion to approve, and then I so and so second that motion.
I
Uh,
motion to approve the calendar.
I, Jacob Burnett, second.
I'm gonna do the roll call. Jordan Moore,
Yay.
DeAndre Mays,
Yay.
Presley O'Malley, Sykes,
Yay.
Yaslin,
Yay.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Was it everyone?
Believe so. Was that Nadia? Was that everybody? Or did she cut out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty, so we can move forward to staff reminders and upcoming events.
You do
Yeah.
have one more thing in new business as far as the survey questions that Sky created.
In new business,
Mm-hmm.
is that something that we would have to vote to add? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll open the floor to vote to add to that. Somebody would just have to, once again, motion and then second.
And we're just motioning to add new business.
Yes.
I, Sky Sykes, motion to add new business.
Jacob Burnett, second.
All right, moving forward to new business. And Cobra, you said that Sky has something, a survey?
Yes, but Nadia will have to do a roll call vote, and then we'll talk about her survey questions that she created.
Jordan Moore,
Yay.
DeAndre Mays,
Yay.
Sykes,
Yay.
Yaslin,
Yay.
Jacob,
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and put this up. So Sky created survey questions, and I don't. Let me see, sharing my screen. So based off what Sky said in the last meeting, she talked about creating survey questions to for you all to send to students within your schools. And then this could be data as far as information that can go into your presentation. And so this was sent in the email as well, but these are just some of the questions she had and how she formatted the questions. And so just discussion as far as them. And then when we close discussion on this, we will vote to approve this so that you all can send this and just like get friends within your schools to answer these questions so we can get data on this. Sky, do you have anything that you want to add based off what you created?
No. If I don't know if everyone got a chance to look at it or not, but it's pretty self-explanatory, like the questions. But if everyone wanted to take a quick look or something and tell me if I needed to like shorten it, if it's fine, add questions, like do we think it's accessible language and all things that surveys should be.
And this was sent to your email, so you all can take a minute to just look at it, briefly read through the questions, and see if you all have any suggestions. And then I give the floor back to Nadia and Jordan as far as how you all want to proceed.
And this is something that we're sending out to the students at the school, right?
My understanding, yes. That's what it is, correct, Sky?
Can you say it one more time?
I was just asking, this is something that we're sending out to the students in the school, right?
Yes.
Okay. Quick question just to make sure that we're straight. Last year, when it came to send out surveys, it was a process that we had to go through. We don't have to go through that process with this one, right? Because it doesn't have the logos. Is that right?
Yeah, so this would be essentially survey questions that create data for your project. So yes, because that wouldn't, yes, to your point, that wouldn't be an issue.
Okay. Okay.
Can I also add something? Can we put this in the Google, I think it's a Google Sheets or something, so the students can answer it easier?
Sky?
Yeah, I can make a form, and then if like everything
Yeah, Google
passes through,
Form.
as far as like it being able to like being sent out, I have the form ready by tomorrow evening
Okay.
for y'all to send out, probably like Wednesday morning if that works.
That would be great too for here at UNCSA because of we use a lot of posters, and so if we have like a QR code, it, people usually scan that and then have surveys that way.
All right, and what are the next steps, Colbert?
So you all would essentially vote to approve the questions and the verbiage so that you all can start giving this to the students within your universities.
All righty. If anybody would like to motion to approve it and second that motion.
I motion to approve the survey.
May I, has everyone, I'm sorry, has everyone taken the read through it to make sure the questions are aligning with both your housing and the harm reduction? I just want to make sure there's, at this point would be your time to make suggestions if questions need to be altered. Because if you approve it, it's then approved as is without then making alterations. So just
And
want to make sure we all looked, that's all.
I just like this to say like this survey is strictly for housing just because that's the group I've been in and I didn't want to like venture off into something else.
I read through the questions while she was showing it. I do like the questions. It's very oriented to what we're talking about.
As far as the harm reduction goes, because like she said, there's not any questions on there regarding that matter. Did anyone from that group want
Yeah.
to make a survey that they could send out to us to review?
Yeah, I can make a survey and try to have it out by Wednesday.
And then we can review that one, and then that following meeting we can vote on sending that one out.
Okay.
Okay, I think if I'm not mistaken, because we're making that plan, we would have to motion and approve for you to send out that survey. Am I correct or no?
As far as the harm reduction one?
Yes. Okay. Well,
Can I just clarify something real quick? So if I'm understanding correctly, the harm reduction survey is yet to be created and would need to be considered by the body in a meeting such as this at the next meeting, correct?
yes, essentially, Nadia said for harm reduction, she's going to create a similar survey that Sky has created for housing. She's going to send that out along with the other information that's being sent. And then we will review that, and then we will vote on it next meeting if we have a quorum. And then we're also going to vote on Sky sending out the other survey.
I have a question. Could I possibly just send questions to Sky and then have us just like we could vote on me like sending the additional questions to Sky so we can just go ahead and have it in there instead of just having to wait for next meeting, or do we have to wait until next meeting for me to actually do the questions? Or I can go ahead and add them in there and then we vote on it today.
From my understanding, we would still, unless you have the questions ready now, we would still have to vote on the review your questions and then vote on sending that out.
Yes, right. So like right now we can, as a unit, we can edit Sky survey. And so right now in real time, you can make those edits. I don't know how fast that's going to be able to happen, but the reality is what I was going to say is, I mean, I've been a college student and I worked on on college campuses for over 20 years. It's going to be very hard to get people to do two different surveys and still get results from both of them. To have one is going to be how you're going to maximize your ultimate results. I don't know based on time if you all are going to be able to develop enough questions or appropriate questions right now? Or do we need to wait, get those questions, get them together, and then in the next meeting, we present them all at once and do the voting?
I was going to say what you said, Ms. Amy, as far as editing it and then reviewing the full document again next meeting and voting on it.
Jelani, you had something?
That would be
Yeah, I was just that's what I was trying to clarify, is that this would be two separate surveys operating independent of one another. So it's my thought, to Amy's point, that you would combine these, synthesize the questions, combine them appropriately, and then consider them as a group, as one survey.
Gotcha. So you all could, I'm like trying to find appropriate terminology for Robert's rule. Table this because we are going to add a section or combined housing questions with harm reduction questions and then present it at the next meeting. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I think that captures the spirit of what you're trying to do.
Okay. So based off what you all are saying and the discussion that was just had, I think the recommendation would be to table this discussion and then Nadia to work with Sky on including harm reduction questions, but also making the survey concise enough where students who are taking it, it'll be easier for students to take them. So so you all would have to motion and then second that and then vote to approve it. And if that is approved, Nadia and Sky will work together to create these questions, and give me a second so I can look at the calendar. That would be sent as far as the questions. So it gives Nadia and Sky a timeline. The questions will be sent with the agenda on March 11th.
All right, so we're going to make a motion in a second to approve a collaboration between Sky and Nadia to expand the survey to include both housing and harm reduction questions. Does anybody want to motion for that?
I, Sky, motion to approve the collaboration between Nadia and I.
I second.
And then when you're done writing that down, Nadia, you will do a roll call and then we can move on.
Sorry, I was talking with my mic on. Jordan Moore,
Yay.
DeAndre Mays,
Yay.
guys,
Yay.
Yaslin,
Yay.
Kenna, oh, she's not here, and Jacob.
Yeah.
That was everybody.
Alrighty. That is approved. So now we are going to, give me one moment, let me pull back the agenda. All right, now we can move on to staff reminders and upcoming events. So the floor is now open for updates. Any updates?
From us, off the top of my head, I don't believe we have anything. Does coffee with a city count, Amy Jelani? As far as like if they want to attend?
Of course they can attend.
Okay. I'm just gonna say what I think and then add. You two can add. So our language access division does something called Coffee with the City, where That will be on, what is it, March 17th at Miller Park from 10 a.m. Actually, let me get the time back because I think the time may have changed. But I know it's March 17th at 10 a.m. or March 17th. I'll get the time later and we'll put that in the minutes. Yeah. Amy, you have anything to add for Coffee with the City?
Coffee with the City is from 10 to 12.
Oh, it is from 10 to, oh, I thought they
It
changed
is.
it. Perfect. Okay.
It's
Okay.
10 to 12 at Miller Park. This is, so if you are near or would like to come, feel free to. But what we've tried to do, it's you all might have heard the police department does something called Coffee with the Cop. Well, we're expanding this. This is going beyond just that the police department, but this is how our community members can get connected with other entities of the city as well as some of our community partners. So we set up other city departments set up, and some of our community partners do. It's very casual. It's come learn about some of the different free resources that you have available to you. Yeah, it's just it's an opportunity to engage and for people to know more about what is at their fingertips that most people don't know of. Yes, Jordan.
Do you all need any volunteers to help set up or anything? Could be an opportunity for some community service hours.
You know, I wish I could tell you yes, it'd be an awesome opportunity, but it is a very quick setup because every community organization or department is responsible to set up their own space. And it's fairly quick. If we were outside, I'd say probably so because people are bringing tents but because, well, right now, while we're inside a recreation center, it just takes less man work than when we're outside. When we're outside, I would say absolutely because everyone brings the tent and they have tables and this is a little bit more easy peasy. I'm trying to think in my head what I don't know if Erica's still on the phone or not. She might be if she needs any assistance for volunteer work to help set up for our Trailblazer luncheon. I don't know if she needs assistance with that. But really that's the only upcoming things that we have where our events where you might be able to get volunteer hours. Now, September 12th of next year, I will tell you a big event where you could get some volunteer hours, and that is International Village, but that is projecting ahead. But for right now, that is, unfortunately, Coffee with the City is not something that's big.
And Amy, that is what you call a shameless plug. I see how
You know.
that in there.
You know.
That is a very involved day. So, of course, we would love to have you guys out there. There'll be plenty to do. Don't you worry.
That's
But,
right.
however, we'll kind of lean on Colbert to do this. Throughout the year, we have engagement activities where some are more prime for folks like yourselves on our boards and commissions to come and help us set up, maybe even man some tables and just help engage with the community. And so we're happy to communicate that with you guys via email and kind of keep you apprised on those dates, times, and what's good for that.
Perfect. Please keep us posted.
Will do. That's all I have for as far as staff updates. Amy, Jelani, Erica, nothing. Great. I want to say thank y'all for bearing with us. I know this has been a 2-hour meeting. One of the things that we're hoping that helps is the calendar. As we follow this calendar, get information out there for you all to review material earlier, we're hoping to definitely tighten this up. This was unexpected, but it was very productive. So I will say that. Thank y'all for bearing with us. All right, Jordan, you can ask for a motion to close and we can adjourn and get up out of here.
All right. Before I adjourn, I just want to give a couple recaps of what we're doing, just to reiterate. So we're sending out information. I'm going to send out the document from all the research that the housing group did. I'm going to send that out. Harm reduction is going to send out a document with all the research that they have done. I believe that DeAndre is going to send out more information in depth of what Winston-Salem State can do as far as housing goes. We're also going to send out, it's a lot to remember, that's why I'm doing recaps. We're also going to send out 3 questions from each group. So we'll collaborate in our group chats to come up with 3 questions in regards to send to Jacob for if they're able to, join our next meeting. Miss Amy, you have a question?
I'm gonna when you're done with your updates, I want to just share something about sending.
Okay. And then Nadia and Sky are also going to collaborate on the survey to include both harm reduction and housing. If I'm missing anything, somebody please let me know. And then this will all just be information that we're sharing to the emails. Nothing, just so we can take a look at it our next meeting. But it's very, very important that we meet the deadline that we've set in the calendar so that we can have enough time to review it and have enough time to vote on it for our next meeting. So please pay attention to the deadlines and send them out. If you're not able to, reach out and see if somebody else can, or, if I can, reach out to me. But please keep in mind the deadlines.
Great. So what I want to add to that is the sending out information. So here's the thing that we need to be cognizant of. So when we send information, in order that we don't start to have business, so for example, when the minutes from this meeting get sent, it should be sent to, like, so Jordan, let's say you send the minutes, or Nadia, you're sending the minutes. You send that, let's say, to Colbert, to me, whatever, and then you BCC everybody else, because that means people can't reply all. When people can reply all to any of your meetings, you're opening yourselves up to have business via an email, which we cannot do. So all the emails, when you're communicating information in an email, it has to be BCCing everybody. We can't to everybody. So also that means when we then on that Wednesday prior to our next meeting, and we send out the agenda, we'll send out the schedule again. We're going to send, so we send out all the information and documentation that you all share for everyone to review the survey prior to the meeting. It will be BCC to you all, so we can't reply all and business can't be talked about. Does that make sense? If we're going to communicate, we need to be very efficient in that, but it also can't be to all. Okay, I just want to make sure that that's understood.
And the last thing to add is that Yoslin talked about headshots. So please send in your headshots by the next meeting to Yoslin personally. So just when you get a picture of your headshot, send it to Yoslin, and so we can get that going as well. That's all I have.
And not to put anybody on the spot, but if you don't have any professional headshots, DeAndre is a photographer who takes headshots. If you want to reach out to him, but he is a photographer.
Listen, I'll add that I know that you all are in different schools, and so we'll try to make it work if you all need DeAndre to come do headshots professionally. So just keep us abreast.
Alrighty, is there anything else from anybody? Anybody want to add anything?
Yeah, I hate to make this meeting even longer, but give me 10 seconds. I just want to say thank each of you. I appreciate, I know this is a marathon meeting, and I know we've got some upcoming deadlines coming, but I appreciate the investment that each of you are making in this and the time outside of your busy schedules to do it. But I appreciate you taking this on and making it a commitment. Also, I do want to shout out our staff, Colbert and Amy. They're doing a lot of work to support you guys on the back end. So I want that to be acknowledged. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right. One last thing I want to do before we end the meeting, just to make sure everybody's on the same page, is I'm just going to check in with everybody. If that's okay, I'm just going to, ask if everybody is good, if there's any comments. So Nadia, do you have anything? All right. Sky, do you have anything?
No.
Okay. Jacob, anything?
I'm good.
All right. Yoslin?
No.
DeAndre?
No, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to open the floor for somebody to, we have to motion, yes. I'm going to open the floor for somebody to motion to approve closing this meeting, and then someone second that motion, and then we can close the meeting out.
I, Jacob Burnett, motion to adjourn the meeting.
I, Sky, second.
All righty, I'm calling this meeting to close at 7:09 p.m. Thank you all.
Y'all are the best. Thank y'all.